Hello and welcome to Attention Deficit Sociology. We're going to be talking about digital games and social psychology. Today, language. What exactly is the point of language in games? We're trying to get a point across. We're trying to build a narrative. We're trying to establish some sort of story, a history that we can use in order to engage players, engage the media, engage somebody, and get attractiveness into our game. Language is the core of all of these different ideas. And yet, the way we use language is overly simplistic all of the time. We try to make it easy to send a meaning through language, and we're going to talk a lot about the transmission of meaning and the construction of meaning. Upcoming, I will have a discussion of Wittgenstein and how we can apply his model into the digital context, into digital games, into development of these games. But for now, I just wanted to really think about the specific question of, do we want language to specifically and easily only convey a message? And the answer to that is no. If you want to be able to bring people in, if you want to be able to allow people some amount of freedom and drive and engagement and agency, a feeling of power, we have to give individuals more than just the ability to express meaning. We also have to give them a way to hide that meaning, an ability to build satire and insult and layered context into that language. Why is it that we want so desperately to attach emojis into text messages? It's because we know that we can send coded messages to an intended audience that's hidden within the words. And a lot of times this can be lost, right? But there's a lot of need in Reddit to put a /s for sarcasm because people might not be able to read it otherwise. Although a lot of times that can then be processed as a secondary sarcasm on top of basically absurdism. But the point is, in order to have some sort of system that makes sense and allows people to really express themselves, we need to acknowledge that they also need to be able to cheat the system in the way that they talk. You can't have comedy without layer. And if you just say that an object is a particular thing, it's a definition, it's a flat, affectless, emotionless description, then you're losing everything that people will want to use from your platform. If you're limiting the way that people communicate, they will either try to build ways to cheat the system, famously Fortnite players using crouch as a means to get around the inability to communicate with other players, listed as cheating, right? Or you'll have people that use specific types of emotes in order to get certain insults across, notably sitting on people and teabagging in certain games. And then you have a lot of other developments using particular messages that are restricted so that people can't cuss and whatever else. But all of that means is that there has to be some sort of avenue to allow that level of playfulness on the part of the individual. And what we're trying to do in the general sense, especially with the fear of litigation and discussion, is we're trying to limit the amount of avenues of deceit that people have. We're worried that people are going to abuse the system in some way, and that's because people do. But if we talk about, lately I've been working with somebody on and using the perspective of Simondon and this idea of individuation, that people define their improvement, their development, through the ability to surpass some sort of restriction and limitation. That there's some sort of conflict, and there must be some sort of resolution, and it comes together into a particular type of person. What can we do with that? Well, what we can say is, as long as we generate avenues through which people can express disrespectful things in a respectful way, we can generate a type of communication that's been lacking. By which I mean, there's been a push to try to destroy the funny insult by both sides of any political spectrum, right? The right wing hate being insulted in every single possible way, and a lot of times people on the left will treat a joke about an individual as a personal affront. The thing is, these things aren't personal, they're social, and we have to understand the purpose of those different jabs, right? A lot of times people are trying to break particular social norms to make a statement, to make a point. And that's not an attack, that's a broadening of understanding. In order to try to make sense of this, how about next time I will talk about specifically the development of satire through Voltaire's Candide. And I hope I can try to make some sort of connection that'll make sense for you, the viewer.